Oh, my people. Hey, yeah. What's good, Geekdom? It is me, the artisan MC, low energy and all that I need. Like, share, subscribe, support the show if you feel so inclined. Missed you guys. Had my head stuck on work and doing this apartment hunting thing, which I think I start tomorrow, Saturday, on my new place. Saying that out loud, I might jinx it. So that means come this weekend, I may be moving into the new place. A little more than I wanted to spend, but it is a nice place. It was the first one I saw that I really liked, and they jumped on the brother. They pursued. It's always better than pursuit. So, other one, the two that I was looking at does not come through. That's what I will be signing on Saturday, moving on with that because it's time for the new gigs. Artistic shop. Time for the new shop. So that put out my review of Ahsoka episode 5 earlier this week. And I told you in that review I was going to sit back and listen to people's reviews on what they had to say and kind of predicted some of what they were going to say. And figured, what up, Toya? I told you that they came back with the Willy Bobo, Willy Poo Poo, that I was going to have some shit to say. And I do. Because I thought it was really interesting the way they tried to play it kind of coy with liking, but not liking too much because they're waiting to see what the fans are going to say. Because God forbid anybody piss off a fan. Disney had a property for 10 years. They ain't did shit but piss off fans, so it obviously don't matter. If you're on the right side of the money. Now, you guys will forgive me if I sound a little angry because I had a tooth issue right now, gum issue or a tooth issue, and I sporadically get fucking headaches. So I haven't felt like talking too much the last couple of days. But be that as it may. So, again, some of this I was going to save. I think I still might save it till Sunday, Shop Talk Live. So I'll just talk in general. I'm talking about people right now. Right? It's funny to me how folks in geekdom will find excuses to like things that really aren't likable. So you guys know me. I'm pretty fair when it comes to media properties and stuff like that. I'll watch, I'll listen, I'll give my critique, and find 3 things I like about it, 3 things I don't like about it. And whichever one, totals up more, likes versus dislikes, on what I'm watching, that will lead me to tell you what I think the overall is on being okay, it was bad, but it had these good points, or it was good, but it did have these bad points. So try to be fair on that, right? Because I'm a consumer of this product too. Right? I just, talking about it, I actually enjoy or did enjoy these properties and these products. So I wanted them to be good. And I'm trying to be objective about it when I'm looking at it. But a lot of this stuff right now is not being really good. It has not been. And almost, to me, it seems intentionally so. Because it has very little eye or pulse on the fan base and what the fan base actually likes. And very little on that. Mostly it is about the creators of whatever property. And I'm not saying it's the actual original creators, it's just the people who are producing, directing it now, getting in their feelings and wanting to do what they want to do with this franchise and not really having their pulse on the fan base. Right? Now, it's a tricky thing nowadays because social media is a thing now. So hearing from the fan base is something that people used to only be able to hear through letters pages or editorials or some stuff like that, right? They have never been used to hearing directly from the fan base as vivid, as abrasive as it can be before social media. You didn't get to hear them that directly unless you went to an event and people showed up throwing tomatoes and shit at you. You didn't know what the fan base was really feeling about what you did, right? Now you will hear it. You will hear it directly, very fast. Doesn't take much time. You got a show dropping on a Tuesday, you will hear about it Tuesday night if it was bad or if it was good. It will take no time at all. Really quick, right? So I find it amazing in some senses that people put out products that the fan base kind of hates. Majority of the fan base hates. I find that interesting because it goes to show that no matter how many focus groups they have that clapped it up, thought it was good to go, yeah, put it out there for everybody. Apparently, the focus groups are not fans. Apparently, they're not fans because if the majority of the fan base hates it, who was in the focus group? Susan from HR, the diversity captain. Who was in it? Nobody who knows this material? Huh. Interesting. Probably why it sucked. So when I watch all of this stuff, I'm thinking about not just who liked it and who didn't, but more so why they liked it, what they liked. And I'm really seeing a what I would call a generational divide in the fan base. So the fraction of the fan base again on who liked and who didn't. And it basically comes in like I'd say 30, just to be generous. 30 and up probably didn't like it. They had issues. Below 30, loved the hell out of it. Best thing ever. You could skew that number up to maybe 35 to 40. Maybe. But that's what I'm seeing. Is that given the age group, they love the hell out of the episode. It's the best thing ever for them. And given the age group, over a certain age, it's like, no fucking way. No, what the hell is this? And so I think it's a really interesting split in the fan base that's already been split. How everybody is kind of splitting hairs now. And whereas before is I have faith in these two people, and now is well, I just have faith in this one person. Because I did watch all the Clone Wars. I did grow up as a kid on this. This is Star Wars I grew up on. So this is the best shit going for me. Now that I'm 20 or 30 years old, this is the best Star Wars going for me because this is taking it back to its roots for me. It ain't the roots for most of us. Hey, it's not the roots for most of us. The roots for most of us is Legends canon. Legends canon. So the show being awesome, 9.5 out of 10 and shit like that, it's like, no. And that's not to say that everything that George did was perfect. It's not to say that at all. I'm just saying, for what I see now, this ain't perfect. But I don't think it comes to a 9. I don't. It was all right. But it has more flaws in some way than you want to admit to. Because put it like this. Listening to people who really liked it, that last episode of Soka, listening to people who really liked it, I'm listening to what they liked about it. Because that's usually my question. What did you like about it? Don't just tell me, oh, it was good. It was good because of what? Well, I liked it. You liked it because of what? Why? What did you like about it? These are my questions. So I don't want surface level. Give me some detail. I'm really wanting to know. And most of it is falling on the fact that if you liked Clone Wars, you like this. And if you didn't see Clone Wars, you probably wouldn't like it. Well, how does that make it Star Wars? How does that make it anybody who watched it liked it? How does it make it that? How does it make it that Star Wars has these number of fans because anybody who ever seen it, knowing nothing about the rest of it, watched it, fell in love with it, and was a devoted fan from then on? How does it rise to that level? It doesn't. If all of your liking it is tied to liking something else that they did that you didn't watch, 2 other shows that you didn't watch, then what fucking good does that make the actual show? It doesn't make it any good. It's too dependent on 2 other goddamn things. Or 3, mainly being that it's happening in the Star Wars universe. Wasn't happening in the Star Wars universe, would you be interested in watching this shit? Would you be? Now, if you say yes, you still would be, okay. How interesting would you be in a show that's constantly referential to 2 other shows you ain't never watched that don't function story-wise without you knowing anything about 2 other vehicles? Why is this chick mopey over this dude? Who is this dude? Why is it a big deal that she has a lightsaber? Who is this chick with this kid? Who's his dad? Is his dad important? How does she get to become a general? Why is this other orange chick so mopey and angsty? Why is she so worried about this other general? Who the hell is he? Why is he important? All of it is referential on something else, which means the show can't stand on its own. What's the story about so far? Looking for a way to go where this general is, because another group of people are trying to bring him back here. And if he comes back here, there's going to be problems. but he ain't fucking here. He's not. And he has no way to get back here. And you're still not telling me why it's such a threat if he comes here. Don't seem like he gonna make it. Maybe we'll worry about it when he gets here. Oh, but they're trying to go get him. Okay. They still got to come back, though, right? They still got to come back. Because he ain't got a way back. That's the story so far. We'll try to stop them, but fail. And they left the galaxy to go get him. Okay. So we ain't got them to worry about right now either, right? Oh, okay. What's the problem here? One guy, because a couple other chicks is mopey about this one guy who got, sacrificed himself to get this dude out of this galaxy. We gonna potentially plunge the whole galaxy in a war again to bring back this one person. That doesn't make any fucking sense. What up, BGS? I said, how hard is it to write a decent script and or improve it? Yeah, and here's the thing. The same people that's loving Ahsoka hated Andor. It's like, what? Motherfucker. That means, and this ain't a shot to Dr. T or nothing like that. This means these motherfuckers only like Star Wars if somebody got a lightsaber. That's what they think Star Wars is. It's all about a lightsaber. If they ain't swinging lightsabers, they can't get into it. Can't get into it at all. I'm like, that's so fucking stupid. Boba Fett was a cool character. He never had a lightsaber. Han Solo was a cool character. Never had a lightsaber. Never. R2, 3PO. Never had lightsabers. Leia. Never had lightsabers. Cool characters, you got into their story and wanted to see them win. Got down with them to see them win. Even Lando. No lightsaber, barely a blaster. But you like seeing Lando on screen because he was smooth. But Andor sucked because with a competent writer and director, he told a story about the world in that world, and people didn't like it because they thought it was boring because they had no connection to the character. Okay. Take that critique and put it on the Ahsoka and understand why other people don't like this shit. There is no connection to Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera, Chomper, fucking Harangue. None of them people. There is no connection to any of them for some people. You are not giving me a reason to care in this show. I don't give a shit. And I happen to know a little bit about all of them. I still don't care. So what is everybody gushing over? And I think that's a good comparison to make, right? Ahsoka, with I can't even remember how many years Clone Wars ran, because I'm not totally devoid of knowledge on Ahsoka. Okay, let's make that shit clear. I'm not totally devoid of knowledge on Ahsoka. But my knowledge base would not be at the same level with Ahsoka as it would be somebody who watched the whole show front to back, 7 seasons, straight up. Wouldn't be. And I'm not saying it would. I actually find that it's not. So a good comparison would be Andor and Ahsoka. Now, why do I think Andor worked? Because Andor was a realistic take on a character that came out of Rebels, who was a complex character. First time you see this dude on the screen, you find out he's a spy and some other stuff, and he killed one of his friends to escape. You like, what the hell is he on? Wait a minute, who is this cat? He a rebel? Why'd he kill another rebel? Oh, he's a spy. He is not getting caught. He know how to plug a leak. God dang. This dude's serious. And by the end of the show, or the end of the movie, Rogue One, you see Andor is complex. He is a rebel. He has things he cares about. He will step over the line if he needs to accomplish an objective. And he sacrifices himself to get the Death Star plans beamed off of the planet and dies. That's the end of his story. First time you met him, end of his story. They didn't give you a bunch of shit about what he used to be, when he used to be, some other people he used to love and like. And they didn't give you all of that. You just understand he got down with the rebels and he's willing to do some shady shit, but it's on the side of good. And so he is not morally twisting himself into knots over that shit, but he does have a moral center because he's going to do what's the most right for the whole, not just the one. Now, you get into Ahsoka. One show. Well, coming into it, you know, oh, well, there's 7 seasons of this. So these people have watched this character grow up in a sense. I haven't. So what am I watching? An angsty, quote unquote, Jedi. It's kind of mean and really fixated on stopping Grand Admiral Thrawn, whoever the fuck he is, coming back into this universe, into this galaxy, and starting another galactic war. Why? How? Don't know. Because you don't have no foreknowledge of Thrawn. You have no real foreknowledge of Ahsoka. And I'm just saying this is how somebody just watching this shit for the first time will see it. You get to meet this character, Sabine. She's some young chick. She's being honored for being one of the people who helped free a planet. And like, oh, I guess she's kind of important. But she basically tells them go fuck themselves. She don't even want to show up to the little unveiling of a mural that has a picture of somebody on it she supposedly cares about. She fuck off, don't want to deal with it. She got her own shit to do. Scoffs at tradition. She can't be bothered. But then you see that the person she's supposedly so still torn up about that went off somewhere with this Thrawn character thought of her as a sister. But she's acting like they was lovers. Like, this don't make no damn sense. Is that her brother or not? Just some dude? Well, why are they so close? Don't know. They travel together for some time? Okay. See Doctor Who, I guess. You get to find out that these villains in this shit is really trying to bring Thrawn back. Like, oh, wow. Why? What are they on his dick about? Yeah, 2 new characters you don't know shit about. Are they Sith? Are they Jedi? I don't know. If I got an orange lightsaber, that's pretty cool. Ain't seen one of those in a while. They break some other chick out that you know nothing about. Like, why is she so important? But okay, these two people are badass because they broke into a ship with a bunch of people who stood just about as much chance of surviving as the people in Rogue One that was trying to stop Darth Vader. Yeah. Just like I want to. Yeah. So, okay, they're looking for a map. Super mystical, magical MacGuffin. It's going to help them find a way to get to him. Okay, cool, whatever. So, angsty old lady runs up on angsty teenager, a young chick. Apparently, they had some kind of relationship. One was a master, one was an apprentice, a trainee, or whatever, but the shit didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? See another show. Oh, fucking KO. All right, I guess it doesn't matter. She wants her on board. She wants her to help her stop Thrawn, and maybe, just maybe, if she helps out, they can find the other dude she's looking for. Well, she's down to do that. Awesome. Now they're off on their MacGuffin chase, fighting against villains who have no history either. That doesn't sound like a compelling story to me. A bunch of characters you don't know, angsty over shit that you never witnessed, you have no connection to. Every person they mention is referential to some other show that you didn't watch, some other stories you never read. What the fuck would anybody who was not interested in Ahsoka watching Star Wars get out of this show? What would make that good to them? I guess the fact that they're shaking glow sticks all over the fucking place, which means you gotta be fucking hot. You would have to be high because they're telling you nothing other than go see this other show. Go watch this other show. Go read this other books. But the show itself ain't telling you shit. But we have all this stuff from other places cobbled together in one thing. Well, that just makes it a fucking flea market. You want to say you have a direction in another galaxy that we don't know shit about? Yeah, all right. You don't know shit about these people. Why should it make a difference if we're in a galaxy that we don't know shit about either? So I'm really, scratching my head on the wondering part about what is making this show awesome to people outside of the fact that they watched this character grow up and they liked it when they were a kid. And I'm just looking at it not as somebody who don't know nothing about this universe and the rest of these fucking characters. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of somebody who doesn't know shit about this. Would they be able to watch it and enjoy it? Would it draw them in? Would they be curious about all the rest of this shit? No. The only reason they bothered looking it up so they can understand what the fuck is going on and why these bitches are so mopey about one dude and why they're so terrified of another dude. Two people you don't even fucking know. No history, no nothing with. Do they convey in you how much of a threat Thrawn actually is? Or is it just like, a modern age woman saying, oh, he abused me? No facts, no basis, no proof. Just, but he's a really bad dude. He's an asshole. Well, why is he an asshole? He'll plunge the galaxy into war again. Why? By himself? Who the fuck is he? Lucifer? What? Doing what? What can he do? You don't get that impression. The character's only giving him some weight. By reputation only, apparently. You want to see some of him? Go watch another show. Like, motherfucker, do I have time to go watch another show to be able to watch this one? Or are you going to give me something in your show worth fucking watching and holding on to? Look, I like encyclopedias. I don't sit there and read the motherfuckers. You know why? It's not entertaining. And I wouldn't give a good goddamn if I'm reading the encyclopedia and every 9th page, the shit lit up. Wouldn't make a fucking difference to me. I'm still reading the encyclopedia. Yes, information. But if I'm not doing a report on fucking aardvarks, what's the point? If everything in an encyclopedia says, go look at issue number 8, go read volume number 12, then why the fuck am I reading this book? It has nothing to tell me. And that's the problem I'm having with this shit. It's so referential, it has nothing to tell you. But a reference card to go watch some other shit that apparently told you a lot more than this show was telling you. BGS, I don't know. Here's the thing. This is how you turn it into a nothing burger. I do a show, and all I talk about is old days of the Coliseum. How cool it was, funny moments that happened, who BGS is or whatever, right? And all I say is that it was really good. Yeah, it was really cool when this happened. But I never tell you what it is that fucking happened. What I want people to do is go back and comb through 5 years worth of fucking material to find that one moment that I was vaguely referencing. That's how you turn a Coliseum into a nuttin' burger. That's how you turn a BGS into a nuttin' burger. Oh yeah, he was a really cool dude. Oh, he was cool. Yeah, he was really knowledgeable. Really, what was he knowledgeable about? No, just a bunch of stuff. What kind of stuff? Man, you got to go read this book, and then you got to go read this one. But he was a really awesome dude, really knowledgeable. Get the fuck out of here! Are you going to tell me anything, or is everything you're going to tell me is to go look at something else? Because you have nothing to tell me, but go look at something else. Like, goddamn, is this a running advertisement for other shows? Or do you have any meat on your bones? People are not driving like you have any sense. So that's what's making me a bit angsty, or angsty ain't even the right word. That is what's making me irritated about this shit. Because apparently I'm expecting more from Dave than the rest of these goofballs are. And I'm seeing now very clearly the difference between Dave directing and John directing. Because something one person said was about a consistent tone in the show, which I can agree. Yeah, there's a consistent tone. Consistently fucking boring. Consistently boring. Yeah, that's consistent. That's like giving somebody a review at work. Oh, he's consistent. I'm going to give you a negative review, but try to make it positive, constructive in some sense. Well, he's consistent. He just needs to figure out how to be consistent at showing up on time. But he's consistently late. Silly shit. And mind you, this is not coming from a place where I don't like Dave Filoni. It's not. I told you guys, I'm on record talking about having faith in Dave and John to save Star Wars. Did. Mandalorian was good. Season 2 was good. So if that was John and Dave working together, and I'm familiar with John's work on his own, I can look at that and see where Dave's work is, what Dave inputs. And what I see Dave inputs is the lore. That's why I said he's like a lore master. He actually knows it and knows it accurately. Here's where the problem is that I'm having with him knowing it accurately. Because he knows the lore accurately, which John doesn't have all that backstory lore and stuff like that, because John ain't spent a bunch of years stuck up under George Lucas's fucking flannel trying to be his second skin. Dave knows where to fuck it up. He does. And that's why his character, his created character, is so inundated into all of this. So seamlessly Mary Sue'd into all of this shit. And I am calling her a Mary Sue from now on. After this last show, this should be the textbook on how you make a Mary Sue and make it palatable to people. Because one of the biggest things that we've complained about in Geekdom forever about characters and Mary Sues is because women are not patient. So when they do a Mary Sue, she got to have everything right now, all up front. Textbook example, Ray Palpatine. Everything in one movie. Best whoever did it, one movie, just showing up, just turned on to the Force. That's a woman's thinking on how this shit is supposed to work. But a man's thinking on it is he will play the long game and keep working it for years. He keep sewing her in there at different points for years. Until now, the shit only works with her. It only works with her in it. Everybody else around her is still diminished. Everybody else is still diminished. And she just one-upped them again. She has been Mary Sue. But the slow road to a Mary Sue. Because like Superman, she can just pop out powers whatever the fuck she feel like it now. She never did that shit before, did she? No, she didn't. But you know, I think there was another male character that did. And she just took that from him too. Slowly. Think of it like this, if you need another geek reference. In Dune, how do you get through the shields that the Atreides wear? How do you get through the personal shields that the Atreides wear? How do you get through it? You just start letting off out of, or do you slip that blade in there slow and consistent until you get them in their fucking heart? You tell me. That's what I'm seeing Ahsoka is as right now. The slow blade penetrating the shield. And that's not that far of a stretch reference if you understand what Dune is and what Star Wars is and the foundation is. Shout out to BGS. So you take all that with the Mary Sueing of this character forever, And then mix in that there are very few original scenes in this movie, in this show. In 5 episodes, there are very few original scenes. Every scene is something taken from somewhere else, to almost culminating by this fifth episode to just giving you what he wanted to do anyway, which was another episode of his old work, which was a Clone Wars animated show, and giving it to you in live action again, so he can do that again. Remember this fight on this planet? We'll give it to you again. Here's two things. And I was pointing this out to my young coworker who's a Star Wars fan. He's 24 years old. And he's a big Star Wars fan. And he asked me if I saw Soka. I told him, I said, my review of Ahsoka is already up. I've seen it, did my review, and posted it. It's done. What did you think of the show? Well, I thought it was, just tell me what you thought. I thought it was awesome. I said, okay, it's so awesome, right? Do you realize, what did you think of that scene with, Ahsoka floating in the water when she came back from the world between worlds? What do you think of that shit? Oh, that looked pretty cool. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Did you ever see Man of Steel? Looked pretty cool then too, didn't it? You ever seen the original Matrix? Neo got flushed out of the power plant. Looked pretty cool then too, didn't it? Same fucking scene. I'll give you another one. Ahsoka standing on the ship in her all white to borrow from Lord of the fucking Rings, like it make any sense in the world that she got another power now, or she leveled up some kind of way. Because I'll get to that point. I'll probably say that one till Saturday. That booty in those pants. But Ahsoka's standing on the ship, and all the Purgos are flying around, and she's just standing out there with a good motif, and then all of a sudden, big Purgil just rises up in front of her, and you get this awe-inspiring image of this small figure and this big-ass thing floating up in front of her. What'd you think of that? Oh, that looked really cool. Yeah, it did look really cool in Matrix Revolutions. When Neo went to the Machine City and he had to stand there amongst all those baby sentinels flying around, little squid looking things with big ass bulbous heads, and sit there and talk to that one face that looked like like Ra. Remember that? It looked cool in that movie too, didn't it? Show me the originality. Even in that same scene, she's supposed to have come back, as everybody is describing it, as like Ahsoka the White. So you ripping off Lord of the Rings too? Look, man, tell me where the awesome part starts. Tell me. So I can look at that and maybe I'll see it. Because that's not awesome. That's copying. That's copy and paste into Star Wars. In some senses, can you even call that fucking directing? Because for what I understand, directors that I like are actually creative. Like, I don't know, Christopher Nolan. When you saw Tenet, did it look like something you'd seen before? You got whole long ass scenes with things just understanding to wrap your brain around the fact that you're in a different part of the world in time and things are moving backwards. So how do you even construct a scene to shoot it like this? And still tell you a forward going story. That effect, that shit, that looked awesome. Now, maybe you could say that's not a fair comparison because one is a major motion picture by a seasoned director, and one is a first television is a streaming series by a second time director. Maybe. But being creative is being creative. And in every episode of this show so far, it's been regurgitated scenes from something else. Every episode. You know what the coolest part, the most original looking scene in this was? When Anakin is stomping towards Ahsoka, not on the Rainbow Bridge, but in the world between worlds. And there's a brief flash of him flashing into Vader and flashing back into Anakin. So you would get the visual idea of what he is channeling right now. That was cool. Not a lot of the rest of it was. Oh, it's important. It's a story that had these two characters together. Okay. If I didn't know shit about none of that other stuff, would it matter? No. If somebody watched this shit for the first time and never watched Star Wars, would they get it? Would they understand why this is so important? She called her master. Why did she call him master? What is so important? What does she get so angsty about? Why is he flashing into this other person? What the hell is going on here? That's what you would be thinking. Because you need so much $4 to even watch this shit. And I can tell you, that may be all well and good for us that know Star Wars. Don't work for people who don't know Star Wars. And this is what kept people away. This is what made movies in the 80s and 90s not work. This is what made them cult classics. You know why? Because the fan base, not even a fan base, the regular viewing audience base was not big enough to understand what the fuck was going on anyway. Why is something like The Crow a cult classic and a fan favorite now? Because only the people who really knew Jason Obar's story and shit like that really fucking loved it. But financially, it did shit. Because the larger audience just watched it. They didn't get all the rest of that shit. So what? But because that devoted group of fans liked it so much, it gained popularity over time. If you watched it right now, it'd probably be unwatchable. But you would think, damn, he this performance seems a lot like the Joker. Yeah, Beastly, they ain't stopped. And this is why I'm getting pissed at Dave, because his ways of undermining Luke Skywalker seems more insidious. Seems more insidious. It does. He undermined Luke Skywalker and put his character in there. That seems more insidious to me. Because make no mistake about it, I don't have a problem with people coming into a franchise, making up some new characters and putting their characters in there. But your characters in somebody else's franchise are not the main characters. They don't get to take the banner and just it all be about them now. That's not respectful at all to me. I don't give a fuck how long you stood next to George. You know, Judas stood next to Jesus for a long goddamn time. He still turned that bitch in too. Took his silver and went about his goddamn business. So I don't want to hear that shit. But this is what I'm getting out of his. He's the only one who wrote it. He didn't do anything. It's all him. Okay, so it's all fucking him. This is what he all has to give me. Regurgitated scenes, self-referential shit to, like I said, sit there and jerk himself off in the mirror. To sing his own praises to himself. Anybody young enough to be captivated by this bullshit of, hey, this was a good show. Okay, be that as it may. I'm not one of them. It's not that good. Even knowing some of this shit, why it's important, what it's connecting to, it's still not that good. Because even then, you could think like, yeah, but it could have been better. But I'm supposed to hate Andor. Andor made you understand that real people get hurt in this shit, and that there are real stakes for what rebels do. It's just not all girl bossedness. Girl bosses got to do some fucking work too. Because I can tell you this. There was two dangerous women in Andor. And you know what? They weren't even lead fucking characters. Because I can tell you, two women in Andor I wouldn't want to fuck with. Luthen's aide at the art store, that's a killer. I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but that bitch is a killer. Make no mistake about it. She a killer. You ain't seen her kill nobody yet. But season 2, don't be surprised if you see her getting some work in and find out that she used to be a Jedi. She's Luthen's Padawan, because Luthen used to be a Jedi. Fuck around and find out. That bitch is a killer. And you know who else is a killer? That little Indian chick that was messing with Mon Mothma's daughter. That chick is a certified killer. Certified. You saw her kill somebody. No bullshit. You know she a killer. This bitch sat and wait. She got a job across the street so she can keep eyeballs on her target. She is not about the games. That is a stone cold killer. On the prowl, stalking. I wouldn't mess with either one of them chicks. And they ain't even main characters. That's why you can't even remember their name at the top of your head. But you know what? The motherfuckers mean business. That is a girl boss. That's a girl boss, because she ain't about the bull. You take two other characters who are named in this shit, mind you. Hera Syndulla and Sabine Wren. Supposed to be girl bosses. I don't believe them. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. They do too much dumb shit. One got even a rank, general. Well, what the hell? So what makes you a general to where, put it this way, you already know how it works in Star Wars. If it becomes wartime, Jedis gain general rank, right? They can command forces. Why? Because they have so many years of training Padawans and stuff like that, and they have so many skills surpassing regular military that you should give them, they should be generals. They are battlefield generals. They don't really try to be getting into the wars like that in the military shit, but if you had to bring them in as something, you're bringing them in as a general. What's Hera's qualifications? How badass is she? What did she do? I'm not seeing anything badass about her except the actress playing with her got a nice ass. What about Sabine, who can't follow directions, supposed to be a Mandalorian? Apparently she can't fight for her worth of shit. So, was she a foundling? Was she a foundling? And she was too young to finish the training too, or what? Because every other Mandalorian that I've seen, even Bo-Katan, seems pretty goddamn capable. They don't lose too many fights. They get in there and start taking it to people. This chick even with Beskar on, can't handle a Padawan. And she's supposed to be getting trained as a Jedi? You should be doing a lot better. I expect a lot more from you. That's an embarrassment to being called a Mandalorian with your shitty painted armor. And an insult to even having some Jedi training. You are garbage. You are Sabine Wren securing no wins. And you so hung up on this dude that called you like his sister that you give the map to bring back the enemy y'all trying to fight against to your villain so you can go off and see your friend again. Bitch, are you stupid? Are you for real? Get the fuck out of here. That's what you did? For that reason? Man, you should have took another lightsaber. It's okay. You ain't gonna die from it. It's okay. Oh, and just to point out this little bit of Dave Filoni fuckery, remember how Sabine got stabbed through the waist and didn't die? Okay, in episode 5, how many of them Mandalorians got stabbed through and dropped dead on the spot? I seem to believe one of them, because the question was asked, what Mandalorians have on Beskar? How she, stab him? Oh, she probably just got it through the plates. Okay, so she got it between the breastplate. There are no segments in that shit. There are none. It's a breastplate. There are no segments in between it. It ain't fucking Batman's armor. But she stabbed him through the chest. And the motherfucker dropped dead. Okay. If I'm going to accept that, he should get the fuck up right now, shouldn't he? Because in the same show, I saw a bitch get stabbed and walk it off the next episode. Bullshit. Bullshit. So in the same show, lightsabers all of a sudden cut through thick stone and Beskar. And go through people, but it don't kill them, but also go through people and it does kill them. In the same show. Inconsistent. Tell me what makes this awesome. This is the best Star Wars ever. How? It is inconsistent with itself in 5 episodes. What makes it the best Star Wars ever? I'm waiting. A 9? Fuck you. That's dropping it down to a 6. Because you're getting half of the points because you got Star Wars across the top of it. So you already get a 5. Y'all gotta quit with me with this shit. This is gonna really get me amped up and pissed off if I have to keep sitting here poking holes through that bullshit Beskar that they got on this show. Filoni fucking foibles. This is what I told you. It was taking him so long to write this show because he had to fix his own mistakes that he made, the own inconsistencies he introduced in Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah, he got to clean up his own mess, but it don't look like he cleaned it up any. He just start making some different ones, and want you to pat him on the back and tell him it's awesome, and pissed off when you don't. Fuck you. You know how many years George was getting shit talked about for what he wanted to do, even with them first movies. He was a radical outsider doing some silly shit that nobody was into. Did the shit anyway. Turned into Star Wars. Biggest franchise ever. Not started by a corporation, started by one little goofy fucking dude from California who had an idea and liked some shit. Show me where the awesome parts are. I'm not seeing it. And Donnie Mac, you're right. The women in Andor are boss girls, not girl bosses. Exactly. Because they actually boss up. You're not just being told they badass or walking around with their ass on their shoulders like they badass. No, you actually see them doing shit. That's like that bitch about something. She about her business. Because that Sanita girl, whatever the fuck her name was, she was about that action, nigga. She was about that action. She was about the mission. Shout out to the Cure, but she had her systems order and structure, nigga. She know what the fuck it was. And when she saw her girlfriend going a little bit of afar that shit, she was checking her too, like, what the hell you on? No, this is what we do. No, this is what we do. We're gonna bring these motherfuckers down. Yeah, you can get with it, or you can get without it. But this is what we're gonna be doing. She broke her down, her own girl. Yeah. Licking the kitty 1 minute, kicking her in the ass the next. No, you better get it right. Get your shit together. Get it locked, because that's what we do. Shit. Boss. Nigga, she bossed up. Now you know who was on top. Who was wearing the strap on. Who was wearing it and who was taking it. He was not a bottom, nigga. She bossed up. Even Luthen's aide bossed up, checked his ass to get him back on mission when he was kind of, well, I don't know, kind of wavered. No, there's too many people depending on us. What the hell's wrong with you? And she was looking at him like, motherfucker, if you falter, I will kill you. That's how she was looking at him. If you falter, I will kill you. No, you not. No, you will not. We are going to do this. People are depending on us. Send the goddamn signal. Let me go back in here and finish polishing this brass. Shit. Them chicks was bosses, nigga. That's topping from the bottom. These chicks in here just supposed to be badasses and do some of the most irresponsible ass shit, but they supposed to be bosses. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. So that's my spiel on that. I'm about to go in here and get me some of this pad thai in a nice little big jug of Thai iced tea. My mouth is hurting, but I gotta eat. I gotta eat some food. I'm hungry. So appreciate you guys coming through. It took you a while, but apparently some people actually showed up. Salute to anybody who sent the word out. I'll keep you guys updated if I'm actually moving this weekend. I will do a stream, but maybe I'll do the stream from my new place. That might be fun. I have to do it through my phone. But that's exciting times. Exciting times. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in here. Thank you guys for showing up. But you tell me that there's a comment section for a reason. Okay, there's a comment section under videos like this or videos period for a reason. Share your thoughts. You tell me where you think I was fucking wrong, because people love telling you that shit. And I might come back at you, but that's just what it is. I mean, what are you? You want to throw rocks and expect somebody else to throw back Nerf? Shut up. Grow up. Come on. But throw some comments in there. You tell me what you see in this show. Make a case for it. Please. I want to really think it's awesome. I do. Because I told you. I don't hate Dave overall, but I'm mad at him about this goddamn show. Because there ain't nobody else to blame the shit on. It's nobody else. It's just him, right? So it's just him. So any smoke that's being generated, it's coming at him. That's just how responsibility goes, motherfucker. Look, George took it for a lot of years on Star Wars, the prequels, how they sucked, how stupid Anakin was, all the rest of this dumb shit, right? Okay, these same people love the fuck out of Anakin now. Still the same character that George wrote. Still the same one. Just an older actor. And other people having watched somebody else go through it and, oh, I know how to fix it now. Then now you're making your own fucking mistakes. Anyway. But that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. Toya telling me you enjoy it. Yeah, I'll eat it slow too, Toya. It's gonna be lips and tongue all over the shit. That did sound like innuendos. Uh, Donnie Mac, you're exactly right. Because here's the thing I noticed. One more point, and this is the thing I'm noticing. Everybody that wants to praise this show and Dave Filoni right now, totally disrespecting John, totally throwing him away. They ain't mentioning shit about comparison of this show to Mandalorian. Nobody is making that comparison. None. And these probably the same people that had a problem with John Favreau. That's why it seems like he's getting the shit end of the stick right now at Disney and Lucasfilms. Because Dave got out of his shadow. So now it could just be Dave. Because they ain't making the comparison against Mandalorian to Ahsoka. They're not making that comparison at all. They made the stupidest one, which was that to Andor. Like Andor was a better show. Andor had more intrigue in it. Andor had you more interested. And you know why? You never saw a fucking lightsaber, and I swear to God, Luthen is a Jedi. I swear to God, he's a Jedi. And his story of possibly having been a Jedi who walked away from the Order is more interesting than Ahsoka's. I fucking said it. More interesting. If that motherfucker popped out a lightsaber, I'd lose my shit. Like, oh, fuck. Fucking knew it. But you know what? Never called himself a Jedi one time. But he talked like this motherfucker know more than he's saying. And not just because you wrote little to no fucking dialogue for this character. No, he's saying a lot. But he know more than he's saying. And you're intrigued about that. Like, this motherfucker know too much. He know. Ooh, there's something with this motherfucker. I'm looking for season 2 for that. I'm looking to see what go on with Andor. And I really want to know what the fuck is going on with Luthen. I really do. I'm half interested in the Mon Mothma stuff because that was good. And fucking Cyril Karn and that other little crazy bitch working with the ISB. Yeah, I want to know what's going on with the Empire. Because apparently in the Andor show, the Empire and the corporate interest they took over is more fucking competent than the Galactic Empire. Or excuse me, the Galactic Senate or whatever fuck they are now. More competent. Because these other motherfuckers in the Ahsoka show that Mon Mothma working for is trash. They don't know how to take a hint. They don't know how to take a lead. They don't even listen to their generals when they say, no, we need to follow this hunch out. Don't even listen to them. They are fucking garbage, dude. Dumb as fuck. Bunch of people that got in charge that couldn't even win a war. They was just the bureaucrats. This is why in Game of Thrones, you got a Baratheon sitting on the throne. Because that motherfucker was actually out there doing the fighting. He knew what the hell was going on. Now, he may have been shit as a ruler, but you wasn't fucking with him either. You did fall in line. And some shit was working in between the time he was working. What up, Charles? You late. Dropped off the cloud too late, homie. But I'm going to get out of here. Go get my food. But yeah, you got any comments on this Ahsoka stuff or what I'm saying? You want to make a case for Dave? You want to make a case for the show? You want to agree? Either is fine. I don't give a fuck either way. I don't. But drop it in the comment section because I need some light entertainment while I'm eating my food to read. So I'm gonna go in here, have my chicken patai, my Thai iced tea, and some mangoes and sticky rice. And I wouldn't mind reading something a little entertaining while I'm sitting here enjoying my food. So appreciate y'all coming through. Like, share, subscribe. I've been artisanmc, and you have just heard a geek rant.
in a Geek Speak. Peace.